want to talk about brothers for a minute. And, you know, I talked to Mr. Cobb's brother, Richard, before about this, and this is a painful thing for him.
I'm sure it is. I'm
And
sure.
I get asked all the time, you know, people ask me all the time why I dig up these things, why I cause problems for people. People are trying to forget, you know, and why I make them relive things that they, you know, painful things from their past and all that. And I think the thing that I hear the most is that I don't know anything about this. You know, I've never had this experience, and I let people say what they want to say because
Right.
people need to express themselves. You know,
Right.
so that's what makes me a good reporter. I think is I listen a lot and let people, you know, have their say.
Right.
But I do know a little bit about this, you know, and thinking about Mr. Cobb, Jeff Cobb and his brother Richard, I was really thinking about my brother David. And, you know, my brother David, and he was my older brother. I got 5 brothers. He was the one closest to me. And in high school, he was always the cool one, you know. He always had the hot girlfriends. He had a red convertible. You know, he was the total
Wow.
opposite of what I was, and I looked up to him so much, you know. But he got into some drugs in high school. He got into a little bit of trouble, you know. It haunted him the rest of his life. It was hard for him to get a job. You know, he worked construction, but it was hard for him to get a job outside of construction because of his record, you know. He grew up a little bit. He got married. He was married for a long time. That didn't work out. He got married again, and then eventually moved to Alabama. And, you know, my family's real close-knit right there in Lee County. I'm the only, you know, I got a brother. My oldest brother's in Texas, and I'm here an hour away, and then everybody else
is
right
there.
In Lee County.
Right.
But my brother David went down to Alabama, and you know, he was down there for a little while, and then in late 2007 we got a call that that nobody knew where he was at. And you know, I mean, I've been doing this professionally for years, writing about missing people. And then when my brother, you know, you don't know where he's at, and I mean that is the worst feeling.
Yes.
Absolute worst feeling. We thought maybe he was coming back home, you know, for a little while, but that didn't happen. We didn't know where he was. And of course, I mean, he's 50 years old, so he can go wherever he wants to.
Right.
But he was a guy that always checked in with his father.
So when was this that he went
This was
missing?
2017.
2007. Oh, that's recent.
Yeah, 2017, and we don't know where he's at, and we try, you know,
He's
we're trying
still
to
a
track
missing
him.
person
Well,
then.
we'll
Wow.
get to it. Hold on.
Wow.
We'll get to it. So.
Well, I'm anxious.
Well, you don't know because I don't talk about it.
You don't talk about it. I
But-
saw it in your list, and I said, that's his brother.
Yeah, you know, so I work with the Aware Foundation, which helps find missing people, and so I contacted them, and they didn't waste any time helping. And
Right.
the poster that you mentioned, they circulated this poster in Alabama. They put it on social media. Well, that's hard to look at.
Yes,
Give me a
I'm
second.
sure.
So we don't know where he's at, and we're trying to find him. And I'm doing what I can do. I've got a nephew that's a detective for the Fayetteville Police Department. He's making phone calls. He's trying to find out what's going on. He was really helpful. I mean, this young kid really carried my entire extended family through all of this. And you know, so we get to the point where we start to learn, you know, a little bit about what my brother was going through. He had we think he had meningitis, which is a very, very painful
Yes.
disease. It affects the brain, and you know, you're not really thinking clearly, and it's bad. So I got the call a couple days before Christmas that year that my nephew called me and said that David had went out in the woods and he'd hung himself, and we didn't know where he was. For you know, it was a little while, but it brought up some memories because my uncle, when I was younger, I had an uncle that hung himself, and it had taken so long for folks to find him that when they finally did, his toes had fallen off. It had been you know, and it's that not knowing, and you
Not
know, that's
knowing.
why, you know, Richard Cobb knows, because he didn't know where his brother was for several days.
Right.
And, you know, I told you I wanted to unfold this case week by week and take our time and unpack
Yes.
it really slowly. And so I wanted to get this out of the way. I knew I was probably going to have to mention it at some point,
Right.
but I wanted people that's watching, that have family members, to know that I'm not doing this carelessly. You know,
Right.
I'm not doing this to cause anybody any harm. But the only way that we're going to get to the bottom of some of these things is sunlight.
Well, these families, Lyndall, need closure.
Sure,
Closure is so important. They need closure.
they absolutely do.
And I guess your brother is just one of your driving forces.
Yeah,
wanting to do
there's other
this.
ones that will that are even more painful, and we'll talk about them at some
Okay.
point.